Hello, I'm Christopher Saslow, the Associate Director for Patient Care Services here at Gulf Coast Veterans Healthcare System. Today, I'd like to talk about several things in our blog, including the onboarding of some new employees that will be joining us in several areas, including the outpatient and inpatient areas. I'd like you to make sure that you make them feel as welcome as you do one another and show them the collegiality that's important for us to be successful in our mission here at Gulf Coast. The next thing I'd like to talk about is the upcoming Innovation Month that we have in November. In the fall of 2015, Secretary McDonald announced the launch of the VA Innovators Network, and we were fortunate to be one of those sites that were selected out of the 8 in the country to pursue innovation and the possibility of obtaining funding for special projects. We were also successful in obtaining funding for 2 projects, one of which is our Vocera project, which will be rolling out this year, helping to increase the communication and reduce the veteran frustrations that go with not being able to reach someone. It will also help staff communicate with one another more effectively. In the first year, we've had tremendous success in the innovation process. We've empowered some of our employees to improve experiences and care for our veterans and successfully funded the transformational innovations, significantly reducing costs, such as the Vocera project itself. For the upcoming year in FY17, we have several opportunities, as well as we have new facilities that are joining us in the Innovators Network. While we continue to be a leader, we want to make sure that people understand that this is the best opportunity now to start talking about our month of innovation. As part of the Innovators Network, we were again able to participate in submission for proposals to the Spark, Seed, and Spread Innovation Funding Program. Like the Vocera project that will help to improve our communications, we invite you to think about things that you can submit for, and it does not have to be an expensive project, but something that is what we consider to be a just do it, that might require some small funding versus large-scale funding to improve and innovate the way we do business. These 3 tiers of funding help to support the different innovation projects that we have, and we really encourage you to participate in the Innovation Month that we have coming up in November. We've really been successful in helping to improve some of the ways that we submit for ideas that change the way VA does its healthcare. Please know that there's lots of information available, and you can learn more about the application process through our program on the VA Innovators Network starting tomorrow, October 31st. The deadline for the first draft of the application is due by December the 7th, so I encourage you to speak to our innovation specialist, Boots Brinkman, if you have any questions about this opportunity. 2 other individuals that have been champions for our innovation projects include Austin Hampton, who is the Chief of Biomedical Engineering, and Elizabeth Williams, one of our RNs in the ICU. These individuals are also available to help spread and spark your ideas and how you can submit for opportunities for the innovation funding. The next thing I'd like to talk about is our access. As you've heard me talk about in previous blogs, our access is our #1 priority. But that access has a lot to do with what we as nursing can do to support it. While we continue to move forward with hiring the necessary individuals to open up our beds that have been closed, as well as to improve the outpatient clinic staffing, we want to encourage you to ask your manager what you as an individual and what you as a team can do to help support the access initiatives here at Gulf Coast. As I've mentioned before, units are going to be looking at using their huddle boards to identify opportunities to improve practice in your area, as well as making sure that you had an opportunity to have input as to how your practice moves forward, as well as how we can improve it. Remember, I've talked about those just do it's, so your ideas are continuing to be as critically important as possible. If your huddle board has not been put up yet, I encourage you to speak to your manager about when and if that huddle board will be put up. For those units that have already seen their huddle boards placed, I again encourage you to make sure that you encourage your teammates to participate in those brief huddles. They don't take very much time, but the outcomes can be incredible. I want to thank you all for what you've done this past fiscal year and really want to encourage you now to think about what opportunities you can take in order to stimulate our next fiscal year to be the most successful one it can be, and to make sure that we help to shape our access through nursing's input and through the change agents that each and every one of us can be. Thanks very much, and I hope you have an awesome week.